Consider this. Everyday objects, the things we touch, use, and discard without a second thought, hold a darker secret than you might imagine. These seemingly innocuous items, as familiar as the back of our hands, harbor a hidden side, a side that is largely overlooked. In our daily routines, we interact with a plethora of objects, each with its own tale to tell. The plastic bottle you sip from, the smartphone you can't live without, the trendy outfit you just bought, all commonplace, all part of the rhythm of life. But what if I told you there's more to these items than meets the eye? A complexity that goes beyond their utilitarian surface. In this exploration, we will delve into the less-known facets of three categories of everyday objects: plastic products, electronic devices, and fast fashion items. Each holds its own set of mysteries, its own set of truths. Are you ready to uncover the hidden truths of your everyday life? Scene script: plastic, the modern marvel, is also a silent assassin, wreaking havoc on our environment. Once hailed as a breakthrough in material science, plastic has become a ubiquitous part of our lives. However, beneath its shiny facade lies a grim reality. Each year, approximately 8 million metric tons of plastic enters our oceans, turning them into a virtual plastic soup. This relentless onslaught of plastic pollution poses a significant threat to our wildlife. Sea creatures, both large and small, often mistake these floating plastic debris for food, leading to fatal consequences. But it's not just the wildlife that's at risk. Plastic pollution has far-reaching implications for us, humans as well. Tiny fragments of plastic, known as microplastics, are increasingly making their way into our food chain. From the fish on your plate to the salt in your kitchen, these invisible intruders are everywhere. As these microplastics accumulate in our bodies, they could potentially cause a myriad of health issues, although the extent of their impact is still largely unknown. Now you might be thinking, what about biodegradable plastics? They're supposed to be eco-friendly, right? Unfortunately, the truth is far from reassuring. Despite the biodegradable label, most of these plastics require specific conditions to break down, conditions that are rarely met in real-world scenarios. In fact, some so-called biodegradable plastics merely disintegrate into microplastics, exacerbating the problem instead of solving it. The irony is that the very material we created for its durability and longevity has become a silent killer, slowly suffocating our planet. But we're not helpless in this fight. By making conscious choices like opting for reusable items and supporting plastic-free products, we can significantly reduce our plastic footprint. So, every time you casually toss away that plastic wrapper, remember, it might just end up in your dinner tomorrow. Our beloved gadgets, from smartphones to laptops, are ticking e-waste time bombs. The digital age has brought us a plethora of electronic devices, gadgets that we rely on every day. But have you ever wondered what happens to them when they've outlived their usefulness? The truth is, they become part of an escalating global issue, electronic waste, or e-waste for short. E-waste is a term that encompasses all discarded electronic devices, from your old flip phone to the outdated laptop gathering dust in your attic. These devices, once heralded as marvels of modern technology, are now little more than ticking time bombs of hazardous waste. They contain a cocktail of harmful materials like lead, mercury, and cadmium, which pose significant health risks if improperly disposed of. It's not just a handful of gadgets we're talking about here. Picture this. Each year, the world generates over 50 million metric tons of e-waste. That's equivalent to the weight of all the commercial aircraft ever built, or around 4,000 Eiffel Towers. Quite a visual, isn't it? This mountain of discarded devices, if not properly handled, can leak harmful substances into our environment. When these toxic materials seep into the ground, they contaminate our soil, water, and air, leading to a myriad of health issues. From respiratory problems and neurological damage to reproductive disorders and even cancer, the health implications are dire and far-reaching. Yet, despite these alarming facts, only a small fraction of e-waste is properly recycled each year. The majority finds its way into landfills or incinerators, or worse, is exported to developing countries where regulations are lax, and vulnerable populations are exposed to these toxic substances. It's a grim picture, but awareness is the first step towards change. As consumers, we can help mitigate this ticking e-waste time bomb by opting for greener alternatives and supporting responsible e-waste recycling. Next time you upgrade your phone, spare a thought for the old one. Where will it end up? Looking trendy and fashionable comes with a price our planet pays. Diving into the world of glitz and glamour, we find a darker side to our beloved fashion industry. It's called fast fashion, a term that denotes an accelerated production process to get new trends to market as quickly and cheaply as possible. But at what cost, you may ask? Fast fashion is a major contributor to the global waste crisis. Every second, a garbage truck's worth of textiles is either burned or discarded. This is largely due to the industry's throwaway culture, where clothing is worn a few times and then tossed aside for the next trend. Not only does this result in an astronomical amount of waste, but the production of these clothes is equally damaging. Cotton, a primary ingredient in our clothes, requires vast amounts of water to grow. A single cotton t-shirt and pair of jeans can consume over 20,000 liters of water in their production process. Now multiply that by the billions of clothes produced each year. The numbers are staggering. In addition to this, the dyeing and treatment processes of textiles contribute significantly to water pollution. Millions of gallons of chemically infused wastewater are discharged into rivers and oceans, causing irreparable harm to aquatic life and ecosystems. And let's not forget the human cost. Fast fashion exploits labor, with underpaid workers toiling in unsafe conditions to meet the insatiable demand for the latest styles. But it's not all doom and gloom. Many brands and consumers are waking up to the realities of fast fashion and championing a more sustainable approach. From recycling and upcycling initiatives to a shift towards slow fashion, the movement towards a more sustainable industry is gaining momentum. The next time you buy a new outfit for a single occasion, think twice. Is it worth the cost to our planet? The answers lie not only in our wardrobes but also in our choices. Let's choose wisely. As grim as these realities may be, there is hope. And it starts with us. We've embarked on a journey today, unraveling the darker aspects of our everyday lives. The silent threat of plastics, the ticking e-waste time bomb of our electronic devices, and the hidden costs of fast fashion. Yet these challenges are not insurmountable. Our choices have power. The act of responsible consumption, choosing to recycle, opting for sustainable alternatives, these are not just choices but powerful actions that can reshape our world. By supporting sustainable practices, we are sending a message, a demand for a healthier planet. Each one of us has the potential to influence the course of our future. It's not about grand gestures, but about millions of small actions, rolled together, creating a wave of change. The change starts with us, with every choice we make. Remember, even the smallest action can make a significant difference.